Hey guys, welcome back to another interesting video. How are you all doing? Hope you all are doing great. So in today's video, I am going to be making a kimono gathered gown. So guys, if you're interested in seeing how I made this, please keep on watching and make sure to share this video. Okay, so let's get started. To make this dress, you will need just 2 yards of each of these prints. So the first thing you need to do is to fold a piece of fabric. This one I'm going to be making use of this one. So I'm going to fold this piece of fabric into 4 places to be able to get the front and the back piece of the gown. Okay. So I have to cut out the selvage end of the gown, and I mark my shoulder circumference divided by 2 plus my sleeve length. My sleeve length is 8 inches. Then I am going to mark my neck width, that's the wideness of my neck, is 3 inches, and the depth of my back neck depth is 1.5 inches. Then I connect it. So I came down for my shoulder slope by 1 inch, and I'm going to measure my round sleeve circumference divided by 2, and my waist circumference point and my hip circumference point, which is 24. So I'm going to divide my bust circumference divide by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance, making it 11, and I added extra 1 inch again, making it 3 inches seam allowance. So my hip circumference divide by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance, and I'll connect it to the 3 inches allowance to my bust point. Okay, so we have allowance 3 inches allowance on the bust and 2 inches allowance on the hip. So for the first length of the gown, I have to mark 31 inches. So I'm going to divide my hip circumference by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance minus 1 inch, making it 11 inches. Then I connected it this way. So I removed 1 inch from the hip circumference. So next thing is to cut it out. So after I'm done cutting it out, I'm going to remove the back piece, and we're going to work on the front piece. So guys, using the 3 inches weight, I'm going to go below my bust point, 1 inch below my bust point. I'll mark 1 inch all the way to the down, and I'll connect it this way, making sure I have 1 inch all through, and I'll give it a V shape to the neck width this way, and that is it. And I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to remove it and add a placket to it using the other print. So once I'm done cutting it out, I'm going to join the two shoulders together. So here I'm done joining the two shoulders together, and this is what it looks like. I joined the back bodies to the front piece, and I'm going to measure around the center front. So guys, after measuring the center front, I have 67 inches. Okay, so we're going to cut out a placket of 67 inches. Okay, so here is the placket, and it's 67 inches in length, and I added extra 2 inches allowance to it because sometimes after folding and joining everything it reduces. So I added extra 2 inches, making it 69 inches in length. So the width of the wideness of this placket is 4 inches. Then I folded it into 2 with my pressing iron, and it is 2 inches in fold. Okay, while the one I'm going to add at the sleeve is 6 inches in width, and in fold is 3 inches. So I'm going to add it at the sleeve just the way I placed it on the sleeve, okay. So for the placket, I am going to join it this way. So I'm going to find out the center of the placket, that is the center. Okay, I'm going to notch it. So I'm going to give it a notch now. So after notching it, I'm going to find the center. I'm going to find the center of the back also, and I'll give it a notch as well. So I'm going to place it this way. The two notches, I'm going to place the two notches together. I'll give it a pin. then I will pin it all round. Okay, all round this way. So guys, this is how I'm going to join it all together. So I'm going to take it over to my machine and I will join it, then I will be back so that you guys can see how I did it. Okay, so make sure you join the sleeve as well. So guys, this is what it looks like after joining. Okay, this is the sleeve. I had to cut out 3 inches of the sleeve and I added the 3 inches placket design. Okay, so in case you're making mine, you're wondering how I made it, I cut out 3 inches of my sleeve and I added the placket. And for the center front design, I had to place one above the other one. Okay, I placed one above the other one, then I'm going to just stitch on top of it that way. And secondly, I had a design I want to place on top of my hip. So guys, this is the design. I came up by 7 inches. My hip is 7 inches, so I'm going to mark 7 inches. I want to make sure that the design is below my hip. Okay, so I'm going to come up by 7 inches. By 7 inches, that is my hip point. So I'm going to place this design exactly on that point that I just marked. Then for the placket, I'm going to just place it on top. So from the shoulder point, I'm going to come down by 11 inches now. Just watch. So from the shoulder point, I'm going to come down by 11 inches. So from that 11 inches, I'm going to stitch it down to the gown length. So I had to pin it up so that it will not shift. Remember to use your pin always. Your pin is your best friend. So guys, I am going to move over to my machine and I will sew it down to the length of the gown and I will be back. So I cut out a designing piece of this fabric and I'm going to the wideness of this fabric is 17 inches and the width is the length is 7 inches. So I'm going to place it on top of the design that I marked out earlier on the gown. That's one that is going to be on the hip. Okay, so I'm going to draw a gathered stitch on it. So I'm going to gather it now. Mind you, I have 2 lines of gather for it. Okay, so that the gather will come out very okay. Don't use because of laziness and you just sew just 1 line. The gather will not come out well, but when you use 2 lines, it will come out very okay. So I have 11 inches to gather, so I'm going to gather everything down to 11 inches. Okay, so it's now 11 inches. So I'm going to use this to cover up the edge. Okay, the rough places, I'm going to use this to cover the rough places like this and I'll be back so that you guys can see how I placed it. So guys, I'm done joining the rough places, I'm done covering it, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to place it, as you can see, this is how I'm going to place it on top of the marked line. I'm going to place it this way and I'm going to top stitch it, and once I'm done top stitching it, I will be back so that you guys can see how it looks like. So guys, this is what it looks like. It came out so beautiful. So I added this design. This design is very beautiful. I was just making the dress and this design came to my mind and I just added it and it came out so well. So next thing we are going to do now is to make another gather and I will use it to join the down part of the gown. Okay, so I'm going to measure the round circumference of the gown, of the down part of the gown, like this. So we have 43 inches. Okay, so after that I have 3 yards of this piece together. I joined it together to be up to 3 yards and I have to stitch the hem the down part like this. So I had to hem the down part this way, and after hemming the down part, next thing I'm going to do is to stitch run a stitch 2 times here. Okay, I'm going to run a stitch 2 times there. It will help me to easily gather it. Okay, remember the round circumference of the main dress is 43 inches, so when I run the stitch I'm going to gather it down to 43 inches, and I will be back. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to gather the stitches, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to measure it to show you what I came up with. So I came up with 47 inches. So I'm going to join the two sides together. The 47 inches is for the excess allowance in case it doesn't match so well. The allowance will help it match so well. So I'm done joining the two sides together, and I have a second line here. So I'm going to attach it to the main dress, and I will show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach it on the main dress. So under the designing part, I placed this design part here so that it doesn't, I don't want it to be the same color, the same print, sorry. So I had to use my pin to hold the ruffles, okay, around, and this is, I'm going to sew it around this way. Okay, so here I'm done joining it, and this is what it looks like after joining. Okay, I'm going to go move over to my weaving machine, and I'll weave the circles so that it doesn't start losing. Guys, just take a look at this beautiful dress. It came out so beautiful and neat. Guys, I love this. Thank you guys for watching, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe my channel at Cut and Sew with Chikadibia, and follow me on my Facebook at Asefanyi page, and also guys on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.